just jump on here for a minute, just a minute as I rock my cares away. Ah, we're talking about, well, I am talking about mind shifting, shifting our mindset. Because I don't know about you, but I woke up this morning in a different mindset. Ah, today, still thinking like, what if, what coulda, shoulda, would have been. But guess what? I had to change my mindset. Still thinking like, what broke us? Still thinking like, what left us? But today, we're stepping into something higher. Today's message is called crown thinking, from survival mode to royal mindset. Man, and I need you to type this in the comment right now. I still have my crown. Sometimes it may turn backwards, but I still have my crown. So I'm going to define king thinking. I'm going to break it down in real life terms. For instance, when I say like a king, I'm not talking about ego. I'm talking about control. I'm not talking about controlling others. I'm talking about controlling yourself. I'm not talking about dominating others. I'm talking about dominate the power of your mind, how you think, how you feel like you want to be. Get rid of the old set and let's start with the new. I'm talking about ownership. I'm talking about responsibility. I'm talking about a new vision and new discipline. A king thinks beyond today. A king makes decisions that protects the generation and protects themselves as well. A king doesn't react, he responds or she responds with purpose. And let me say this clearly, this is for women and men both, because a woman thinks like a king. She stopped begging for validation. She started building her own values. When a man think like a king, he stopped running from responsibilities. He started leading with integrity. This is not about gender. This is about mindset. Your mindset, resetting your mind. Don't let old stuff come into today. Mm. There's 3 crown principles. Let's talk about it. Let me give you 3 principles to live this out. We're going to use the word crown as we get ready to put that crown on. C, the first C is control. Control your thoughts. You not what everybody else say, you what you say about you. Control your thoughts. Your mindset is either your throne or your prison. Let me say that again. The way you look at things, it's either your throne or your prison. And I don't know about you, I enjoy cutting my lights off, okay? So it's not prison. If we keep replaying hurt after hurt, betrayal after betrayal, rejection after rejection, you're going to sit up a mental jail for yourself. You're going to be locked up in your own way of stinky thinking. But when we learn how to control our thoughts, we sit in the throne of peace. Say this with me. I will not let my past control my present. Say this with me. I will sit on my throne and I will not end up in prison. And I will help others as well. So the R in control is respond, don't react. Kings don't move off emotions, they move off of wisdom. Anybody can react, but it takes growth to respond. People do things to make you react, but let's watch how we respond so we can grow. When somebody disrespect you, when life hits you unexpectedly, pause, take a breath, think about your good song, walk away. Because your response to what they said determines your power. Next is own. Own your identity. Own your identity. Too many people walk around wearing a crown but thinking like a peasant. Let me say that again. Many people are, many people are, many people are walking around wearing a crown, but they're thinking like a peasant. We don't want that to happen, okay? You don't know who you are, and so you accept anything. But when you know who you are, you stop sitting around and waiting for somebody's approval. You just get up and do. So say this out loud with me. I am not what I went through. I am not what I went through. I am what I choose to become. So here's a real life story. Let me make this real to you. There was a woman. She had been through heartbreak after heartbreak. Every relationship ended up the same way. She started believing something must be wrong with me. So guess what she had to do? Take a self-examination. So she began to shrink lower, lower, and then begin to lower her standards, accepting what she once said she'll never tolerate it. Until one day she sat alone. No music, no TV, just her listening to what her heart was really saying, not about someone else, but what her heart was saying about her. She sat alone and she asked herself, why do I keep choosing what breaks me? And that's the question I'm asking someone today. Why do you or why do we keep choosing what breaks us? That moment changed everything. She realized she wasn't thinking like who she was. She was thinking like what she experienced throughout life or what he experienced throughout life. So she made a decision not to find better people first, but to become better in her thinking. How you think, okay? Sorry about that telephone interrupt. Not to find better people first, but become better in her thinking. She starts saying no. She starts setting boundaries. She started valuing herself. And everything around her changed. Why did it change? Because when your thinking shifts, your life follows you. So if you start thinking negative, you're going to attract negative people. So if you start thinking on a king mindset, wearing your crown and not being a peasant and thinking like a king, guess what? Your whole conversations will begin to change. So let's check our internal conversations. What are you saying to yourself when nobody's around? If your inner voice is negative, you're sabotaging your own crown. Start replacing it instead of, I'm not enough. Say, I'm growing into more each and every day. Every day, I'm fixing my own crown. I'm not looking for someone to fix my crown. I'm fixing my own. Set standards, not just goals. Goals say, I want this. Standards say, I require this. So let me say that again. Goals say, I want it, but standards say, I require it. Kings, they don't negotiate their standards. It costs your peace, your dignity, your purpose, and that's too expensive. Surround yourself with elevation. You can't think like a king and sit in an environment that keep you small. Let me say that again. You can't think like a king and set an environment that keeps you small. You can't do that. Okay. Sometimes growth requires distance. Let me say that again. And that's the hardest thing. Sometimes growth requires distance. Not because you're better, but because you're becoming. Ah, the power that we're going to need, the power that we're going to need. I did the C, control your thoughts. I did the O for us to own our own our own thoughts and own our own ability. Excuse me. You know, when you wear somebody else's stuff, it get my hair, it get all in your face, and you know it's not yours. But let me move on. You know, control your thoughts. What's an invisibility clock? That means that you're hiding who you really are to fit into somebody else's expectation of you. Ah, that's what that means. You got to tell, I will not let my past control my presence. And then I said, response, respond, don't react. And then own your identity. You don't know who you are, so you accept anything. So own your identity. So the strategies to think like a king. Check your conversations, set standards, not just goal. Surround yourself with elevation. Then next, and as I close, I feel this strong today. Some of you have been walking through life crowned but confused. Everybody else say you have it together. Everybody else is so proud of you. But when you shut that door at night and you take that crown off, you begin to weep. You begin to think, I'm not enough. So, in other words, you have to change the way you see and the way you think about yourself. But today, clarity is coming. So, I want you to declare this with me. I'm not broken. I am being built. I am. I'm not behind. I'm prepared. I'm not less. I'm leading my life. And with that being said, I'm going to say a short prayer. Father, thank you. Thank you for reminding us that we are never created to live beneath our purpose, our plan, and protection. Help us to think higher, walk stronger, and choose wiser. Heal the place where we started thinking small. Restore confidence, restore identity, restore vision. And from this day forward, let us walk like we remember who we are. Remember, stay grounded, stay free, change your mindset, and you can do that indeed. Have a great day, and thank you for joining Emotional Control.